guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video here today. We are going to be doing my cousin's nails, and she wanted a marble design with some solid nails too, and she has never had an acrylic set on before, and she said she's had like one painted manicure her whole life. So this was kind of fun, and we did do a shorter design and it was really fun to do. So here I'm just going and pushing back her cuticles and dead skin, just making sure that that is off of the nail so that when we go and lay our acrylic down there's no lifting or anything like that. And then I will come in with my e-file as well and my cuticle bit and just go around the cuticles and just make sure that all that skin is off of the nail bed, so that way when we do apply our acrylic it prevents lifting and it just helps adhere to the nail very well. Now I'm just going to take my cuticle nippers and just nip off any dead skin or hangnails that I see off of there. You don't want to take off like the really nice, I don't know how to describe it, like pink part of the cuticle. That's still living and that's still nice to have there. You don't want to take off all of the skin there, just if it's white and dead and like flaking off, that's the stuff you'd want to take off. And if you don't have a lot of experience with cuticle nippers, just be really careful with them. You can get too close to the skin and actually take off more than you need to, make them bleed or hurt them really bad. So you just want to be careful when you're doing this, but that is what I'm doing now. And I do apologize, my hair gets in the way a lot during this video, so I did try to cut that out as much as I could without missing any important parts. So if I do cut a lot or you see any missing parts, that's probably why. It's just because of my hair. Alright, and once I am finished with her cuticles, I am going to go in with my white block and buff her nails. I am just taking away the shine off of the nails. I'm not taking off any actual nail bed or nail plate or anything like that. I am just taking away the shine just to make sure that the acrylic has something to stick to, and it will also help prevent lifting. Alright, after I'm done buffing, I am just going to size every finger with the pre-pinched square nail tips that I get from Glitter Planet UK, keeping in mind that if something is too big, I can just file the sides down and I won't put anything too small on the nail, otherwise it will pop off or crack while the acrylic is on top of it, and that isn't going to be fun for anybody. So I love these pre-pinched square nail tips because they're already pinched, of course, and I haven't gotten the hang of when to pinch an actual nail if you're building it on a form, so these just help out really well and they look really nice and they help with the structure and the strength of the nail as well. And here I am just cleaning up the free edge. She had quite a long nail on her thumb, so I just wanted to trim that down a little bit, and then I file the edge and then I just continue sizing the nail tips. After I'm done sizing, I am just going to clip the nails to the length she wants. I cut them at a longer length and ask them if that's okay, and then if they want it shorter, that's fine. You always want to cut longer before, because if you cut them too short and they're like, well, I wanted them longer, then you're kind of in a little bit of a pickle there. So she did choose the shorter length, of course, like I said in the beginning of the video, which is great, and it looks great with the set that she did. She does have typing to do, so I did let her know that it was going to take a little bit of getting used to try typing with acrylic clips on. And after I get all of those clipped, I am just going to go over with my file and on the softer side and just go over the nail tip and just blend that into the natural nail bed. I am not focusing on the natural nail bed at all, just the tip, just to make sure that we get that shininess taken off of there, and it will help the acrylic adhere to it, just like when we buff the nails, of course. So that is what I'm doing to all of these fingers. And once I finish filing them all and blending them in, I'm going to go in with my Dehydrator from ENail Couture with Max Estrada. And this is just to help get off all that extra dust that you haven't if you're trying to dust off the fingernails. It just gets all that off of there, and if there is any dust left over and you skip this part, it may cause lifting once the dust is underneath that acrylic, so that, because then it's not adhering to the nail and it's adhering to that dust, and so then it'll just lift right off. So after the Dehydrator, I go in with my primer, and I just put this on the natural nail bed, not on the tip, just because it's meant more for natural nails. I don't oversaturate, I just put just enough on there, and I will do this on the other hand as well, but I will start putting acrylic on this hand here, and if the other hand needs more primer, if it's been sitting too long, then I will put more primer on it. So in this part I do cut out quite a bit because my head did get in the way. I excuse me, I do get really close to my nails when I put acrylic on them, just to make sure that everything's right and going okay, and I'm getting that apex in there and all that. So this part is kind of cut short, but I am just doing the acrylic application at this point.
Fill me out with your smile, now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame, I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down, 'cause with you I'm safe and sound. I'm safe and sound, 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 I'm safe and
Once I finish putting the acrylic on all the nails, I am just going to file them into shape, file the sidewalls, and make sure that they're all nice and level with the natural nails. And then I will also, if I need to reshape them at all. She wanted them the square shape, so that's what we're going with. I'm just tidying up the sidewalls here, and then I'll go around the cuticle area, make sure that's really nice and smooth and flush to the natural nail. I'll shorten anything if I need to shorten it. And then I will also go over the top and just make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And then I will also go in with my smoothie file from ENail Couture, which is just a buffing file, and just really smooth everything out before we put on the gel polish. Once I finish with all that, I'm just going to go in with my e-file and I'm just going to shape the bottom of these. If there's any acrylic underneath the nails, that's what I'm doing here, is trying to take that off, showing that C curve off a little bit more there. And then if I do need to, I'll go around any other parts with that file and just make sure that all the edges are nice, all the cuticles are nice and flush to the natural nail, so that there's no bumpiness or lumpiness, and it just will look really nice at the end of all of this.
When I'm down, 'cause with you I'm safe and sound, 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 safe and sound.
Alright, so once I am done filing all the nails and applying the acrylic and making them all look really nice, they are ready for the gel polish application. So I am just going with a dark purple. It's called Diva by Gelish, and she did want a darker purple, and it was the darkest I had and closest to the picture that she showed me. We will also be using the same one for the marble design that we're going to do on the pointer and ring finger. So I'm just going to go through and paint over the whole nail with Diva on the pinky and the middle finger, as well as the thumb, and I'm going to do 2 coats on each of those. I'm going to cure them in the lamp for 1 minute, and I do have an LED, and I do the pinky and middle finger separate because my lamp is kind of small, so I just would rather do those first and then the thumbs last. And then after that, we are going to be using a regular white polish and painting a base onto the nails.
When I'm down, 'cause with you I'm safe and sound, 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 safe and sound. Your smile, now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game.
Now I'm just going in with the regular white polish as the base for the marble design. I'm just going to paint this over the nails, and I do paint this nail, and then I realize that one of her nails is not cured all the way, so then I stop and I have her put it back into the lamp so that we can cure that. And then I'm going to go on the other hand and paint those 2 nails, and then I'm going to come back to this hand and finish that base, and then we will be able to start the marble design. So here I am starting the other hand with the paint. And as you can see, I'm just capping the edge of that nail just to make sure that it all looks really nice and that that nail polish isn't chipping off or anything during her wear time of however long she wants to do it, whether it's 2-3 weeks, a month, however long. If she doesn't decide to come back, we just want to make sure that her set still looks really nice. So that's why I always cap the edges of my nails with regular polish, gel polish, and top coats of any kind.
Now the sunshine brings the light.
starting the marble design, and this was so much fun and so exciting. This is my first time doing this, and I think it turned out really great. So I just have the gel polish on a foam backing piece there, and then I just am taking a really small detail brush and I'm just painting lines on there. And oh, I forgot to say I did put a shiny no wipe top coat on top of this, but I did not cure it, so it is still wet on that nail, and I'm painting over that with the purple gel polish, Diva by Gelish, just so that there is something for that nail polish to move around in, because I found that when I was doing this before on a practice nail, if I just put it on just the white polish, it kind of soaked into that polish and didn't move anywhere, so it was just a bunch of random lines. So when I put the top coat on there, it does help maneuver those together, and it does give those lines a place to move when I use the alcohol on my brush to disperse those lines. So I'm using alcohol to make those lines not so harsh and just to create a nice little background, and then I'll go back in with some more gel and put lines wherever I want them and make it look like marble. Try to get as close as I can to it. I did have a picture of it so that I had something to reference, of course, and I'll just keep doing this until I'm happy with it. If I make lines and I want them to be more of a background than a harsh line, then I'll take more alcohol and I'll go over that with that same brush, and I do have a little pad there to wipe that stuff off with. So you can just sit back and watch this part, and this is the only nail I do because the rest my phone actually decided to stop recording. So that is what's going on here, but I do this on each and every nail, and when I come back we will see the final results. Guys, and here is the final result. We did use a matte top coat on these. It does look a little bit shiny because of the cuticle oil, but this is the final result. I hope you guys liked it, and if you do, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thanks guys, bye.